Welcome back to the sawmill today. Join me as I flip and cut my way through 3 very large logs today. The priority, making 2x4s. That is 6 essentially 1x1s and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 2, 12 2x4s, 12 feet long. A beautiful sunny spring day out here. It is, I'm going to say, about 8 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. Hopefully I'll put it up on the screen here. But I think as I finished off in my last video, I'm down to 6 logs on the sleepers, with one of them being on the saw deck already, as you can see. I'm going to probably mill up 1 or 2, at least 2 of the sleepers as well. And given the time I have out here today, I'd like to get through 4 of these logs. Not sure I will. Those first 3, I don't know if you can see there with the light. The one that's on the deck, I mean that's 14 at the big end. These are also the first 2 here. Big logs as well. I'm going to start doing 2x4s today. Anyways, there we go. That's the plan. Let's get busy. The first log on the deck is large. It's 14 to 15 inches at the large end. I get underway by squaring one side and then of course a second. And I get a chance here to show you how again I flip a log like this using my cant hook. Cant hook, of course, gives me the leverage to flip these very large logs. These logs will be in the neighborhood of 800 pounds. Now fast forward with a little editing magic, and you can see that I have my square cant. This is a big log. I keep emphasizing the fact that it's big. It's big for me. It's big for this sawmill. To get the cant to the desired dimension that I'm looking for, I take off this top layer, and then I'm ready to start milling what are essentially 2x10s. And I believe there are 6 2x10s that I'm going to cut through this cant. You have to remember that the total depth of cut that I can do with my saw is 6 inches. That is that the blade guard and the blade themselves are 6 inches apart. What I have to do, given this 6-inch maximum depth of cut, is stop, remove the 3 top 2x10s. You can see that I've moved them onto the loading ramp, and then continue on with making the rest of the cuts, i.e. the rest of the 2x10s. You can see me doing that right here. With the 2x10 cuts all made, it's now time to bring the other 2x10s back onto the milling deck and flip the log at the same time, or what is essentially the log at the same time. You see me moving around the various piles of 2x10s and getting them organized on the deck here so that I can now make the cuts that will result in actual 2x4s. And once these 2x10s are all secured, it's essentially 2 more cuts. One that I'm doing right now that will essentially create 1x1s or another handful of stickers that I can use in my pile. But this final cut, which creates, I believe it is 12 2x4s. These are the 1x1s and the 2x4s that I'm talking about at the beginning of the video. So what I'm going to do now is just fast forward and move into the 3rd log of the day. You see me walking on the milling deck here. The deck is sturdy. It's also 12 to 14 inches off of the ground, and by doing this I find that I'm breathing in a lot less of the sawdust coming out of the mill. The extra height makes a difference. I mentioned several times in this video that I milled 3 large logs. I did indeed mill the 3 large logs, but I think in the video there's only 2 logs. So I've either misplaced the footage of the second log, or I just didn't take the video. And you'll also notice, as I've done in previous videos, I use the fast forward function quite often. If I didn't use the fast forward function, many of these videos would be in the 30 and 40 minute range, and I'm not so sure people want to tune in for that much milling. But leave a comment and let me know what you'd like to see. If you'd like to see more raw footage of milling that is not edited as much as I'm editing and or fast forwarding, let me know and I can address and change the videos accordingly. So that's the third big log today. Again, 2x4s, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Bottom row didn't quite get the width. Looks like it's about an inch. But at the end of the day, 3 big logs. I believe I've done 42 2x4s in about the last 2 hours. If you probably add in the prep time this morning, changing out the blade, cleaning up the site a little bit more, I'll clean it out again tonight on the way out. Probably closer to 3.5 hours. Set up and tear down, got to factor that into your work as well. So there we go. Productive few hours here at the mill.